another Sunday, I think, for the Jewish people. Because last Sunday I told you the outdoor sports for the Jewish people is to search for a rabbi and drain him out with all the possible truths that he wants to tell, and still they will be unsatisfied. But Jesus does not give up. They want to drain him. Yes, he sits there and tells them, again this Sunday you find parables of the seed. So the seed is very important for Jesus. And even though they drain him out, he pours all the seeds upon them. And therefore you find three important aspects that we see in today's gospel reading. The first one is the wheat and the weeds. In the gospel we heard Danan. Yes, the wheat and the weeds are very, very symbolic for each and every one of us. Why? Because it is necessary to know what this wheat and weed means in our life. How I can apply it. Well, the kingdom of heaven can be compared to a school. To a school where you send your treasures. You send your children. They are there going to the school, not like a finished product. They go there to learn. They have to do a lot of growing and grooming. They are still your treasures. They are still yours, but they still have to be exposed so that they learn. They are educated, and I'm sure you love them. But when they are in the school, we know that the children may not have the experience of basic values, basic human values. Therefore, we leave them in the school, and in the school there are so many children. We do not know the background of every child or their family. But we know about our child, but we send them to the school. And we do not know the background of each child, whether this child was raised in a violent household, whether the household was torn apart because of chemical dependency, or maybe because the family, one of them is a terrorist. We may also see that people witnessing in their family, hurting each other, abusing parents. We may also know that these children are exposed to all these backgrounds of every child's family background. And we know how much of language they use, how much of abusive language, how much of vulgar language all these different children use, and their background. They all come to that one school. And your child also is there. And should the principal then throw out the dysfunctional child from the school, give a TC and say, you're not fit in my school, get out? No, we can't do that. If the principal has to do that, there will be one or two only in the attendance register. And therefore, you find that the school always keeps all of them and teaches the values that are required for the children, even though they come from different backgrounds. That is important. The school teaches them the values, the discipline, because they know that these children have to grow. So also we find in today's gospel reading, when Jesus speaks to us about the wheat that have to exist with the weeds. And we know that we have to exist with the weeds. We have to exist with the evil. Because we see in the first reading where, from the book of wisdom, we know where is God. I told you, God is everywhere. There, the first verse says, there is no other God beside thee, whose care is for all men, to whom thou should prove that thou hast not judged unjustly. Therefore you see, our God brings blessing on the good and the evil. He doesn't only give the blessing to the evil, good ones because you are righteous, you are virtuous. No. He gives the same blessing to the good and the bad. We feel jealous I'm good and the bad fellow is getting all the blessing. I come to church but I get all this problem. But that fellow doesn't come to church and he is living happy life, luxurious life. We compare like that. But we have to coexist. And therefore, when we coexist, we know that we have a God who justly blesses the good and the evil together. That is the reason Jesus very clearly says, the wheat and the wheat should grow together. Wait for the harvest time and take out all the wheat, separate them and take the wheat into your barn. It is only at the end that happens. Therefore, you and I should not be very, very curious to remove all the evil people from our society, from our family, from our parish. No, we are no one to do that. But we have to coexist so that I get purified. In a righteous family, who's going to be purified? There's no one required to be purified. In a world like this, where the wheat and the weed is, there is a need of purifying because we coexist with the evil one. It happened to a very simple, healthy man, aged 65, want to go and take the medical report from the hospital. He goes there and the doctor says, well, all your reports show that you are very healthy at the age of 65, very good. And this man said, well, doctor, in that case, I will live for another 15 years or 20 years. I will live for 80 or 85. And immediately the doctor said, well, do you have any bad habits like smoking, tobacco, drinking, wine? He said, no, I don't have any of these bad habits. Neither I have any time touched the drugs. Then do you eat meat and steaks and barbecue? He said, no, I'm a vegetarian. And I don't touch that. That is unhealthy food. Then, do you enjoy fast cars? Do you go for gambling? Do you go for various other races? No, I don't do all that. And then the doctor said, then do you involve in certain habits of mental worries and tensions? No, I don't do all that. Then the doctor said, then why do you want to live for 85 years? When you don't do all this, why do you want to live for 85 years? Today, in this world where we live, we want all this, and at the same time we have to live happily. Therefore, there are evil things, there are evil habits, there are evil ways of living, but we have to live along with it. Let us not be too curious to remove the bad from our life. The bad will go off by itself. Definitely, if you are cautious. Because while you are removing the bad, you may also remove the good qualities in your life. Therefore, Jesus is cautious. He says, be careful. The second aspect that we see is, before I tell that, why Jesus says that don't remove all these weeds, is because every saint has a past. Remember this, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. Therefore, don't remove all the sinners. Every saint has a past, every sinner has a future, and therefore you and I should live together in the love of God. The second aspect that we see is a very simple one, the mustard seed, smallest seed, sown, it becomes big. And that is the reason why Jesus wants mighty things that He wants to get out of you by the small seed that He plants in you. Because He says, small amount, that which is sown in you should come out in 100-folds. That is why, my dear friends, great things, great achievements in life happens in a small way, in a humble way. We always start with a scratch and we make it big in our lives. Therefore, Jesus expects you and I to make it big in our lives, not just remain the same stagnant life. No, He wants you to make it big in your life because you are capable of it. Don't think that you are not capable. No, you are capable of it. Start it in a humble way. Start from the scratch. Just like how Mary said, but how can this happen to me? Humble she was, may it be done to me according to your word. And what happened to her? She becomes the queen of heaven and queen of earth. You can become queen and king of heaven and earth. God bless you if you are. The third aspect is the East. The East that we see in today's gospel reading is that little yeast that is put in 3 measures of flour. Then you see the leaven happening, the dough rising. Jesus is expecting again that you who are chosen are expected to do many great things. He wants only few dynamic people, like fishermen, like ordinary people. He made them apostles. So, he expects from you that you, a little few people, can be that yeast to play the changing power, like how in the flour the yeast is made and it rises. So also that yeast in our life should make us do great things for ourselves, for our family, for our society, for our parish. That is the reason why you and I see that we are capable of doing extraordinary things in our lives. Dream big. And that is the yeast in you. Think about all that is not happening in you and make it happen. Above all, if Jesus has spoken about the wheat and the weed, the mustard seed and the yeast, he wants each and every one of us to have a strong prayer life that goes along preventing serious sin in our life, because the divine farmer isn't ready to give up on his crops. He is not ready to give up on each one of you. Amen. Let us all stand for the creed.